They say life doesn't ask for permission before breaking you, it just does. Quietly, suddenly, and completely, and when it does, you have two choices. To stay down or to stand again. This is the story of Rohan, a man who had every reason to give up, but chose to rise instead, a story about losing everything and still finding yourself again. Rohan was an ordinary man with simple dreams. He wasn't chasing fame or fortune, just peace. He worked at a small printing press, saving every little bit to build a stable life. He had a wife, Naina, and a young son, Ishan. They lived in a small rented house, filled with laughter and love. Every night, after dinner, Rohan would tell Ishan stories about bravery. How no matter what happens, a man must never lose heart. Little did he know, those very words would one day test him. For years, life was peaceful, until the day it wasn't. It began with small things. The printing press losing clients. Salaries delayed, payments stuck. Then one day, the owner called everyone in and said, "I'm sorry, we're shutting down, the business can't survive anymore." Just like that, Rohan lost his job, no warning, no backup, just emptiness. At first, he stayed calm. "It's okay," he told Naina. "I'll find something soon." But days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. He applied everywhere, offices, shops, even small repair stalls. Each time, the answer was the same. "We'll call you." But no one ever did. Bills piled up, rent was overdue, the little savings they had slowly disappeared. Then one evening, as he came home after another failed interview, he saw Naina sitting silently near the window. There were tears in her eyes. She handed him a medical report. She was sick. The doctor said she needed treatment immediately. Rohan felt the ground slip beneath him. His wife was ill, his son hungry, and his pockets empty. That night, when everyone slept, Rohan sat outside alone. The street was silent, the air was cold. He looked up at the sky and whispered, "Why me? I've never hurt anyone, I've worked hard, so why me?" But the sky stayed quiet. The next morning, he sold his old scooter to buy medicine for Naina. He began working odd jobs, carrying boxes, cleaning shops, fixing small machines, but no matter how much he did, it was never enough. One day, his landlord came and said, "Rohan, I'm sorry, but if you can't pay next week, you'll have to leave." That night, he broke down completely. He felt useless, invisible, broken. For the first time in his life, Rohan thought about giving up. The next morning, he walked aimlessly through the streets. He passed by a school playground. Children were laughing, playing, running, full of life. Among them was a little boy, maybe 9 or 10 years old, trying to fly a kite, but his kite was torn. It wouldn't rise. The boy kept trying, again and again, but it only crashed. Finally, he threw the thread spool down and shouted, "It's broken! It'll never fly." Something about that line hit Rohan deep. He walked over, picked up the kite, and said softly, "Maybe it's broken, but that doesn't mean it can't fly again." He tore a small strip from his handkerchief, fixed the kite gently, and handed it back. The boy ran again, and this time, the kite soared. The boy laughed, looking up, shouting, "It's flying! It's flying!" Rohan smiled for the first time in months, because at that moment, he wasn't just fixing a kite, he was fixing himself. He realized, maybe life breaks you, not to end you, but to rebuild you stronger. That evening, Rohan made a decision. He took out his old toolbox. Dusty, forgotten, waiting, he cleaned it, arranged the tools, and walked to the corner of the market. There, he set up a small wooden board that said, "Repairing what's broken, a low-cost service." People looked at him with curiosity, some with pity, but he didn't care. He started small, fixing clocks, irons, radios. Slowly, people began to trust him. He worked with honesty, charging little, always smiling. Weeks turned into months. He managed to save a little money, pay the rent, buy medicine for Naina. Hope began to return, and soon, his stall became more than a repair shop. It became a symbol. People came not just to fix things, but to talk, to feel seen. They'd say, "Rohan, by your hands don't just fix machines, they fix hearts." Years later, Rohan opened a small workshop. He hired 2 young boys who had once been struggling like he was. He taught them skills, discipline, and hope. One day, his son Ishan, now grown up, asked, "Papa, how did you never give up when life was so hard?" Rohan smiled and said, "Because if you stay down, life wins, but if you stand up again, even once, you win." He looked at the old kite hanging on his shop wall, framed as a memory. "That kite," he said, "reminds me that no matter how torn you feel, with a little courage, you can fly again." So, if you're watching this and feel like life has broken you, remember Rohan's story. You might be tired, you might feel lost, but broken doesn't mean finished, because every time you rise again, you rewrite your own story. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to try one more time, because the truth is, sometimes, life breaks you only to see if you still have the strength to stand again, and when you do, that's when you truly begin to live.